Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Reading today from Remember This, Not Just Anyone Will Do. You will see that the link is available if you are viewing it on certain platforms. It is available at barnesandnoble.com. It is also available on amazon.com. And you can get a copy directly from me, the author. DM me. I'm on social media. I am D Shields, DEESHIELDS. I'm reading from The Facade of It All, and this is about relationships. As you know, my books are about healing from heartbreak and dating and marriage and relationships and people and family and different scenarios of relationships. As a relationship coach, I'm always coaching ways in and out and through what you go through in relationships, right? The Facade of It All fits with the season that we've been in post George Floyd, right? It fits the season that we've been in, really, with the pandemic. It fits with what we are experiencing in the first 6 days of 2021, what happened in those first 6 days. And here we are at day of trying to decide if they're going to impeach the president. So if your relationship is in order or you're not in a relationship, then you can apply this chapter to politics, adjusting the words as needed. The book was written for remembering not just any person in your life will do, right? And I speak in the language of the way that I speak. And that way, some people say, well, that's not a proper way to do a title. It's okay, because anyone that sits in a relationship coaching session with me will say, this sounds just like her. And so the more you get to know me, you'll probably agree as you read each book, right? So here we go. You ready? The Facade of It All. There is nothing greater than that moment when the facade is unveiled in a relationship. Did I just say nothing greater than? Yes, loves. There is nothing greater than that moment, a moment that may not feel so great at the time that it is unfolding, yet will serve as that point one will look back on as healing takes place, and will be the moment the heartbroken one will extremely be grateful for. I promise you, after it is all said and done, that moment can be appreciated. From experience, I can reassure you of that. Reading through my books, there are the skeptical few readers who seem to think that possibly I enjoy my heartbreak stories. It is unfortunate that those limited minds took that from what I share. So I hope the other readers can completely comprehend that I share my unprecedented amount of heartbreak stories, so that if there are even just 10 men and women out there who grasp something positive from how I overcame and survived, then I have done what I feel is my purpose to do. Let's take a break. Make sure I'm in the right position. Anything that I have to share with you all, and not have too many interruptions, although we know we'll have a few. All right? So next, in Oprah's masterclass featuring Jay-Z, the words came across the screen, never fear the truth. And I began to take notes, as I always do. The message that comes to me from what he shared, Jay-Z, is to always keep it real as to who you are, what you have experienced, and never fear that your truth will not serve its purpose for someone or possibly millions of someone someday. Never fear telling your story. So that is what I do for you all in each advice book. Share my experiences on subjects that many find difficult to take a long, hard look at. It is what makes people very uncomfortable when being in a friendship with me, because if you're going to be in my circle and you're going to be close to me and you have any negative anything, we're going to start taking a look at that and getting some help with that, because I am of no good to you if I allow you to destroy the simple part of life, right? Most of what you're going through is fixable. Some. So let's take a long, hard look at it, right? Enough of the inspirational sidebar. Here's why I feel the unveiling of the facade you were presented with is actually the best thing for you. Repeatedly in life, heartbreak will hit across our globe. I'm sorry, let's say that again. Repeatedly in life, heartbreak will hit across our globe, and thousands of people, likely simultaneously, will feel this deep sense of it being some sort of mistake, of it being something that never should have happened. And though it is likely safe to stand behind the notion that the bad romance should never have happened, it is not safe to entertain it as being your lifetime's erroneous moment that you can never learn from or move past. I don't believe in mistakes. It's cliche to say, yet it is the mistakes that make us who we are. It is the mistakes that push us towards who we are to become. There was a reason that this connection came and went. Something is in that reason for you. Focus on that aspect as everything is whirling to an unexpected end. Do not keep your mind on the devastating part of it, although not doing so will not be an easy task for many. Just remember, things were revealed as the facade was unveiled. Okay? Things were revealed as the facade was unveiled. Things that you needed and deserved to know about to help you make the decision on what is best for you and where you are headed in life. Embrace that season of bad romance. After all, it may greatly benefit your next season by helping you avoid wrong areas or types of individuals. Remember this, one sure thing that the bad for you romance will reveal is the facade. Again, that is a great moment, no matter how it feels as it is happening. Know that I have experienced the unveiling of the facade one time too many in my then 39 years of life. I'm 47 now. I speak from an area of growth that I know you too will reach when it is all said and done. Breakups and loss are an unbearable hurt when they hit. That is the simplistic truth about heartbreak. It hurts. Loss is sometimes less painful for some than others, but if your feelings were genuinely in there, the loss of what was once something really amazing will definitely hurt. For me, as I came to the end on many occasions, no matter how things were hurting, I felt this place existed that was reassuring me. This will work out. You will get past this and you will be okay. Do not give up on love. That's what I feel like it speaks to me. There were only 2 times in my life when it took me a really long time to embrace that reassurance that I was hearing. After I left my abusive first marriage and after my second husband was killed at war. Those 2 times in my life, it took years to embrace the fact that loving again was possible or even worth my time. Yet, I was able to arrive at that point again. And I had taken more than I realized from those moments of pain into an area of maturity and growth towards relationships that I had not known before. It is that which I work all year trying to convey to you all in my books, the podcast, the speaking engagements, and on my talk show. Now know this, we have left out something really important to talk about concerning the moments after we find out the relationship we adored so is no longer going in the same direction we once looked forward to. What we left out is how people choose to react. How we behave as the facade is unfolding is an important part that I want to focus on. Get your pen out and write. As much as we want to sit in a high seat and say, if it happened to me, I would do this or I would never do that. Truth be told, when the catastrophic endings occur, you really have no idea how you will behave. When the catastrophic endings occur, you really have no idea how you will behave. Only thing we are usually aware of, sometimes, not in all cases, but usually we are aware, very aware, that the dynamics of what the relationship once was has started to change for the worse. Sounding familiar in politics? Here are some reactions one should avoid as that awareness hits. Here are some reactions to really avoid as the facade is being unveiled. 1. Pretending that everything is okay. If things are not going okay inside of you, as you are finding out that someone you love is no longer the person you thought that they were, and you are going to have to leave the relationship, possibly they already left the relationship, then please know this, lover. You are not going to heal any faster by putting up a pretense to the world that everything is okay. Cry, scream, call a friend, talk it out. Why not? Your friends call you with their issues sometimes. Remember, that is what true friends are for. You owe yourself the freedom to say, I am hurting. This is not how I expected this relationship to turn out. 2, forcing yourself to his or her request of being just friends. Sweeties, you do not owe yourself or the person that could not appreciate the stronger connection that had developed between you two some cordial path of friendship. And you should know that being friends and looking like all is great and beautiful usually only works out for the Will Smiths, the Russell Simmons of this world. Those few celebrities who are able to be cordial with their exes and blend their families is not something that everyone can do. And even if you feel, D, yes I can, I could be his or her friend, even if they move on, then I strongly suggest you give yourself some time past the breakup and split before you try to engage in that sort of connection. Because it requires you respecting the other person. Did I not tell you the guy said in the first book, Great Sex Is Not Love and Never Will Be? Write that one down. You need to read that one also. It requires you respecting the other person that he or she brings into his or her life and in and out of their presence, to include never discussing what you and he or she once were. Got it? To include, do not go discussing with that person what used to be with you. Then you have a messy agenda. It takes time. It's not overnight to do that just friends thing. Mastering that is going to take time. I do not recommend trying to hold on to the friendship of someone who has hurt you badly. I am not encouraging you to be their enemy. You must know that you can walk away from people without hating them. I do it all the time. People have a season in your life. For some, that season is forever. Others, when it comes to an end, you have to be mature enough and aware enough to acknowledge that moment and move forward. In addition, why do you desire friendship from a person who lied to you about who they really were in the first place? You expected them to keep their promise to be with you. They turned their back and moved on, sometimes in catastrophic ways. So why is that a friendship you desire to be in the first place? Insert politics. The violent revenge-filled reaction. That, you need to stop it. Right there. It is never worth it. Before you, or maybe it's not you, before your friend even considers some sweet revenge, share my words. Stop it. Right there. It is never worth it. You will find more relief by finding a new hobby or going for really long nature walks as often as you can. Consider getting professional counseling. Try calling your doctor and explaining the mentally disturbing thoughts that keep racing as you try to get past this unexpected breakup or divorce. You have to remember that you are not alone in this world. Even if you do not have one friend, there are mental health professionals, counselors, relationship coaches, and support teams on every end of our globe, waiting and ready and willing every waking day to speak with and begin a connection with persons like you. You are not alone in this heartbreak. You will, however, possibly face years of being alone in prison if you carry out some really ignorant revenge move. They didn't know that lesson on January 6, 2021. These days, it is not just violent attacks that land people in jail for revenge. We have laws that can put you in jail for calling, harassing, texting, emailing, creating fake social media profiles, harassing the one who broke your heart, or even the one they have moved on to. Those things are serious offenses these days. Open up your local city legal web pages and just see the fines and prison punishments listed for that type of senseless behavior. You feel alone now? Trust me, lover, you will really be alone if you start going in the legal system as a criminal over a breakup. Do not even take yourself down that road. I do not ridicule your hurt or your pain in any way in this section. I know it never feels good when someone lets you down. Just know it is never worth a senseless reaction because they will never feel the punishment that comes from that. Only you will. Keeping communication open. That's another thing. There is absolutely no real reason if you all do not have children for you to communicate. Now, it could be that you have opened a business together. I am assuming that aspect and their beautiful children is what strongly influences Russell Simmons and Kamara Lee Simmons' cordial connection post-divorce. And in that case, you will really want to minimize all communication to just being about the business. Stay away from trying to rekindle what he or she clearly did not respect to make right the first time around. As for other means of communication, when there is no above-mentioned reasons to stay in touch, simply shut them down. Delete all pictures out of the phone and off your tablets and desktops. Delete their phone number. Find a box and pack up all of those gifts and prepare to give them away. Donating to those in need always makes any morally sane person feel really great. Cut all ties. Holding on to visible memories and excuses to communicate will only drag this heartbreak out even more. And you do not need that. It is over. Move on. Move forward. Remember this. There is nothing greater that can happen to you or a loved one. There is nothing greater than when the facade of it has all been revealed. The persons who were wronged are better for it in the end. Do not try to keep up with the charade. Do all that you can to safely and peacefully walk away. That person is no longer willing to love you the way that they once presented that they would. Take something from the unveiling of the facade, my lovers. Take something great from it. Your dignity. Take that beautiful aspect of you and move on with your life. The Facade of It All. Reading from Remember This, Not Just Anyone Will Do. You can find it under title Arthur Deanna Nestiva Shields, and that's MZDEEVASHIELDS. Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Stay tuned. So much more coming. I'm working on His Lies, Her Power for 2021. I want to release it to you guys in 2021. Thank you for supporting the book reviews, the stars, the negative, the good, all of it. It empowers, it encourages, it pushes to the next level. That's it for today's podcast, lovers. Have a good one, okay?